Hey girls, it's Thursday. Hey girls, I'm Anne. You might recognize me from Candace's Deathly Hallows video, and also you might recognize my voice from her punishment video when she had to eat, well, not eat, but put 20 chips in her mouth. That was me rooting her on in the background, and I like to think that I helped. Candace and I know each other from college. We met because we were both in the theater program. Candace actually went through with her theater degree. I dropped mine down to a minor right before I spent a semester abroad in London, and then I ended up graduating with an English degree. Not sad about that, actually. I quite like having an English degree. I like having a degree that's all about books. This is my first vlog, and this is about the third version of my first vlog. The first take I took, I'll show you this in just a second, but I piled up all these books and tried to put the camera on top of them. And then when I videotaped the tape, man, is it 1995 in here? Pressed record, I got from here down on me, so after I finished I thought, well, that's a really nice nice view of my teeth. Let me show you my tower of books. Look at them go. Just keeps going and going and going. Yeah. I'm a noob. The second take, it went pretty well. I finally was figuring out Microsoft Movie Maker, and I was getting it all put together, and then I ran out of memory on my camera's memory card, and so I had to record just like a couple seconds of stuff, and then I thought, oh, well, it's all on the computer, so I'll take the memory card out and I'll delete it and it'll be fine. And no, it wasn't fine. It deleted everything I had already done. So I'm a noob. So this is take 3. I wanted to talk about myths. You girls are talking about myths this week. That's really cool. I'm really into mythology and also cryptozoology, which I won't get into today, but if you ever want to talk about Bigfoot or the Yeti, let me know. I'm into that. But I really wanted to talk about mythology, specifically Greek mythology, which is very crucial in my personal development. I started reading about Greek mythology when I was 10. There's this great illustrated Greek mythology book in my school library that I checked out all the time, and I'll find the name of it and put it in the doobly-doo. It's so exciting to say that, in the doobly-doo. So I just want to talk really briefly about my favorite myths, my favorite Greek myths. The first one is Athena and Arachne, or Athena was the goddess of wisdom. Arachne was this young woman who was very talented and very renowned for her weaving, and she became boastful. And through her boasting, claimed that she was a better weaver than Athena, should be a goddess, all these like outrageous claims. And Athena appeared and challenged her to a weaving competition, and so they both wove tapestries. Now, Athena wove a flawless tapestry, and the tapestry depicted the gods in all their glory, and it was beautiful. However, Arachne wove an even more flawless tapestry and actually won the competition. But her tapestry depicted the gods in a very negative light. I think there was some business with, like, goats. It was super inappropriate. And she pushed Athena way too far. And in the book, it was my favorite line. Athena said, "Vainglorious girl," and changed her into a spider. So the thought is, now when you see a spider, that's the reason they're such good weavers, is because they're the descendants of Arachne. The second myth I want to talk about has actually been on my mind lately because they mentioned it in Torchwood Miracle Day, if you're watching that. Love Torchwood. It's the myth of Eos, who is the goddess of the dawn. The story of Eos is that she was doing her duties one morning, opening the gates for her father, dabbing the world in rosy light, and she comes across a youth who's sleeping in a field, and she falls in love with him. Now, she's an immortal goddess. She'll never age, she'll never die. But he is a mortal man. So she goes to her father and says, "Listen, I met this guy, I really love him, will you please, for me, will you make him immortal? And Helios grants her wish. He makes her lover immortal, but Eos forgets to ask for eternal youth. Even though her lover lives forever, he ages. And, as people do when they age, he starts to become hunched over and seems to shrink, till eventually he's a cricket, chirping away forever. And Eos can't bear to look at him, so she puts him in a basket and tucks him in a corner in her father's palace. Pretty cold, Eos. Pretty cold. Finally, I wanted to talk about Artemis. Artemis is a really interesting character in that she is commonly today referred to as the virgin goddess of the hunt. However, that virgin title was something that was put in later, probably by the Victorians, because they were so repressed. Really what it was that when Artemis was a child, Zeus, her father, king of the gods, granted her 3 requests. And her requests were for silver bow and arrows, for fleet-footed maidens to hunt with her, and then to never marry. So even though Artemis never married, she definitely had lovers if you go really far back. She wasn't actually the virgin goddess of the hunt. Anyway, the most well-known myth concerning Artemis was when she and her maids are out hunting, she and her fleet-footed maids are out hunting, and they're finished for the evening, and they come across this moonlit pool, and this moon is out, and it's silvery, and it's beautiful, and they're bathing, and suddenly they realize they're being spied on by this man. And Artemis is furious, does not give this guy a chance to apologize or anything. Furious, the goddess comes at him and she splashes him with the water from the pool, and as the water touches him, he turns into a stag. Now, this guy was out hunting with his hounds, and his hounds are hunting stag, so once his hounds scent the stag and he can't tell them, he can't talk anymore, his hounds take him down. Pretty cold, Artemis. Even colder than, you know, pushing your cricket lover off into a corner somewhere. So those are my 3 favorite Greek myths. I also wanted to talk really briefly about my favorite novel, which is American Gods. That is relevant because it is all about different gods throughout the ages, from different mythologies, different pantheons, different religions, all being sort of plopped down into America and having to sort of survive in the face of the new sort of informal gods of media and television and plastic surgery, I think, is one of the gods, one of the new gods. It's really fascinating. If you like supernatural books, if you like road trip narratives, and if you like Neil Gaiman, I highly recommend it. I think everyone should read it. It really is my favorite novel, and I have a degree in English, so you should trust what I say. I don't actually, this is my first vlog, so I don't actually have anything on my YouTube channel other than a couple of short videos of my pet chinchilla doing chinchilla things, so you're welcome to go see those. You're more likely to find me at my blogs, which will be linked here in the doobly-doo. Adea.tumblr.com is where I spend a lot of my time, and then I'm also doing a project, I'm just calling it the Twin Cities Project. It's over on WordPress. It's 100 Things I Love About the Twin Cities. It's mostly food, I'm going to be honest with you, but I do love living here, and so I'm chronicling that over there. Thank you so much for having me this week. This has been a process of trials and errors and more trials and hopefully ultimately fun. So thank you for having me, and Sarah Michelle, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm a noob.